Hey folks, I'm Mark with Fireman Outdoors. Thanks for joining us again for the update on my electricity box, my power station. Some cool things have happened since we did the last episode. I'm going to bring you over here and I'm going to show them to you. Yeah, you be good. All right, here we are. I added this disconnect. I decided I wanted to disconnect to obviously disconnect everything. And so the main voltage, these are two batteries wired in parallel. So my main negative, I used the negative instead of the positive. Kind of did some research. It doesn't really matter if you do negative or positive. Anyhow, I added that right here. So all of the 12 volt outputs and the inverter feed are disconnected right there. So I got a means of disconnecting. I did add that circuit breaker like we talked about. I got a 40 amp circuit breaker coming off of the hot that feeds all of my 12 volt feeds here. This was a cool thing that's going on right down here. This is a 120 volt to 24 volt power supply. And that will put out 20 amps of 24 volts up here to the charge controller. This is an EP Ever charge controller. It's 20 amps. And I got that all programmed and configured for the Battleborn batteries. I did have to buy this MT50 interface. You can't program these without the interface. I tried. The two buttons, you can mash them all day long, and it won't do anything. So I had to buy this little interface to do that. I don't plan on leaving it installed, but it's a handy deal for programming. And if you're going to run multiple charge controllers elsewhere, you can just use one and plug it into the other ones. So you can see right now that my power supply down here, I'm plugged into 120 volts in the back of the box, and it's getting 120 volts. That's converting it to 25.9 volts into my solar panel input right here. So I'm using electricity instead of solar right now to charge my batteries, and then the output here will put out up to 20 amps of 12 volts to charge my batteries, which is good, and it does a stellar job. So we can see right now that my battery's fully charged and sitting at 14.0 volts, and we got a happy face, we got a full battery, and so we just have 1/10 of an amp that's just trickle feeding that right now. So that is the update of what we've done. I have a few other things that I plan on doing. I have a couple of 12 volt outputs and inputs that I'm going to do. So I can just take a plug and I can unplug the solar and plug in my I can unplug the power supply and plug in my solar, and I can also unplug that and use the power off of my trailer to charge the batteries through this charge controller when I'm on the road. I do plan on adding a light up to the front and a hinge that will stop at just over 90 degrees so that the lid will stay open. So we're on the verge of being done. I just have a few little minor things. I'm going to get those done this week, and then we're going to take it out in the sun and test her out. All right, thanks for joining me for the update. I'm super excited about this. It's a cool power station. One of the great things about the Battleborn batteries, and if you're looking at a power station, you're going to watch this, is see how many cycles it'll have. Now, these Battleborns have like 5,000 cycles from full to empty before they degrade to like 80% of their capacity. So you're going to see a lot of power stations that will have a really high power rating, but look at their cycles. The cycles are really important. That's one reason why we went big and bulky and in components like this. I fully anticipate that these batteries will probably last me the rest of my life as they are, just because of the high amount of cycles. So thanks for joining. We'll see you next week with an update, and hopefully we'll be done, and we'll take it out in the sun and watch it take the power from the sun and turn it into stored energy that we can use at night in the dark. Thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, please like and subscribe.